Hey guys, here we are today again at Huff Family Farms. I've got my nephew with me today. This is John Hand, and I know you've heard me talk a lot about Pine Ridge Air. Well, this is Pine Ridge Air here. So we've used him a couple times this year. He just sprayed for us this week. Again, too wet, we couldn't get in for ourselves, so we had to hire John's air service. And you may notice the Pine Ridge Air hat that I'm wearing, if you can zoom. Oh, wait a second. This isn't my Pine Ridge Air hat because I don't have a Pine Ridge Air hat. I'm not sure why that might be, but anyway.
Well, you know, currently this year we've had a little more business and we're currently out of hats. So we're in the process of getting more ordered for our great customers here at Huff Family Farms.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to hear. So anyway, with the you can see the grain truck in the background here. We're going to be doing some work on that today. I'm going to talk in just a minute about what we're going to have going on with that. But we did a little tuning up on it this spring. I'm going to let John tell you about what we had going on with that.
Well, so last fall Jeff noticed the truck wasn't running quite perfectly, so he made it work last fall. But then this spring you decided we should probably get it tuned up before a trip to Boston. So we dumped a little fresh gas in it, and that didn't really do much. So we started checking the spark plugs and noticed that 2 spark plugs weren't working anymore. And we were thinking they're factory original spark plugs, so we decided to change all 6, and Jeff did that, finished that up, and then he took her on a trip to Boston, which is about 85 miles one way. And the truck ran perfectly for Jeff on his trip to Boston, so he is greatly appreciative. And now we have another project we need to do since this truck is now in running condition again.
Yep. So what we've got is we had a tarp on here. You probably are familiar with the roll tarps where you got a handle on the back and you crank them, or they make electric ones, and tarp rolls over, you fill it up with grain, you crank the tarp back over, you got a nice watertight seal to your truck. Well, this had a little bit different style to it. It was kind of a flip top. There was you can see there's a little bit, I didn't get everything tore off of it yet. There's a little mechanism here that was used to actually latch it down. You would unhook that, then there was a handle inside, you'd flip it up. If you had any kind of wind, you had to hang on and you were gonna go flying with it. So it started to leak a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we have another old truck that we don't use anymore, that old flip tarp that we used to have on this thing. And we decided we're gonna change it out with the other one. We're gonna take the hardware off the other truck, put the hardware on this one. We just picked up a new tarp this week that we're going to put on it. So we're looking at it. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a chore, but we're excited about it. And if you stay tuned, there's a good chance you're going to learn some new swear words. Now you may be looking at this thinking, gosh, they shouldn't be climbing on that edge, but it's the quickest way to get these pins out, and it's not a real long fall.
We'll be saving these for later use on our equipment so the pins don't fall out.
Son of a bitch! I told you you'd learn some words. Let her go.
Oh, that was easy.
If anybody out there is looking for a flip top style tarp for their truck, this is an 18-foot box, 8 feet wide. I've got everything you need, and it'll go real cheap. You can just come and get it.
You see, I was looking through the back shelf of the office, and I happened to find my very last hat I didn't know I had, so I will give it to my good customer here, Jeff from Huff Family Farms.
What do you say, Jeff?
Thanks.
Say that again, John.
I'm not sure we're 100% OSHA approved here with the ladder set up on the corner like this, but Grandpa decided it was good enough for him, so.
It looks like I'm doing nothing, but I'm actually the safety spotter here.
There, turn that damn thing off. Not quite done yet. You're not? A couple pieces on the inside. Watch. I normally say don't do this, but
Yeah,
the truck
don't.
is unloaded, so this is a pretty safe practice here. Tell you what, Dave, watch our goggles. Here, put these on. Ain't much, but they're better than nothing. Here, you want the gloves? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so the project continues. We're actually going to be taking some of the hardware off of this old truck that we don't actually use anymore. And we got a new tool that we're going to demo for you today. What we have here is the DeWalt impact wrench. This is the SR version. Bought this, I suppose, about a month ago. And this is actually going to be our first use of it. So John from Pine Ridge Air is going to be the first one using it. So John, I'm going to hold this from the outside. It spins.
And why don't you give it a try and just see how she does. Wow. Oh my. That's, we've only used it once, folks, but it was impressive, let me tell you that. Those people at DeWalt, they know what they're doing. Wow.
That is so much faster than the old ratchet.
Yeah, that is a time saver.
John, can you show from this side?
The
next one?
On the outside here now.
We'll get it on the next one.
Don't want to lose any of your hardware, so you always put the bolt and nut back together.
You grab the DeWalt, I'll come down here with the wrench.
Move this out of your way, so. I think I could probably hold the wrench too here.
I can jump in then. I'll stay out and work on this one.
So it's pretty simple to use. You just put it in reverse here and put it on here. And it's that easy.
Might also point out one other thing with this box here. You can see there's some water in the front of it. This one doesn't have a tarp on it anymore, and like I said, we're really not using it. This box had a hole in the front of it, and we patched it a couple of years ago. And as you can see by the amount of water in here, the patch worked. So you might be asking yourself, why do they have an auger in the back of a grain truck? Well, this grain truck has a smaller cylinder, a lift cylinder, and if you have something heavy like soybeans or wheat, it will not lift the box up when you want to dump it. It would lift something like oats, which is a lot lighter. So what we did, and this is after years of having to shovel the front of the truck out enough so it would lift. Now we got this auger in here, so that we could plug the auger in. We'd have a generator out there, plug this in, it would empty the front of the truck out, and we wouldn't have to do it by hand. But now, look at this, we're tearing it all apart. So we're still gonna leave it in here though, because we could still use it if we needed to. So that's that.
Wet here. That's a lot of water.
That patch really held. That was without DeWalt tools.
But I think there was some duct tape involved. Taking a break to go get a ladder so we can finish our project. Okay, we're back now on our ladder so we can finish our project here. I can't get anything with me being the elephant. You are in the worst spot possible today.
It's going. It's breaking. I mean, it's not turning.
turn.
Ooh, worked up a sweat with that one.
Absolute brute strength up there. You see that? Snapped that bolt right off. It was rusty. That's
John,
what
look
we were
over the
trying to
side.
do. So, not only does he fly airplanes,
I don't know
He's
if you
also-
can see it here, but I actually broke a sweat on that one.
superhuman strength.
Oh, did it come right out?
What are you trying to do? Get that metal piece off?
Yeah,
Why?
because this truck had a roll tarp, and the old truck that we're working on had a different style and the tarp leaked. So I bought a new tarp, but I need all the hardware off this truck to use that tarp. It'll be a way better setup when we're done. Kind of a pain in the ass. Well, so far it hasn't been bad. I got a feeling it'll get worse.
Just keep snapping off the bolts here and we'll be good.
Great.
Oh, that was easy. DeWalt power tools, I tell you.
Yep. You know that if I can reach through here. Hold on, I'm not on yet. There I am.
Good?
Yep. Hold on.
I can run the ratchet from up here.
Oh, there we go. There, that's good. We can spin it now.
Much faster doing it this way.
Yeah. All right, so we're here today. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it is starting to rain a little bit, so we're not going to be here very long. But the other day, there's a little thunder too. We were working on this grain truck, putting the new top on it, and I know you didn't get to see the end of it. The camera crew went home, and I'm not very good at running the camera yet, so you didn't get to see it. But we did get the tarp put on it. We're going to open it up here and see if there's any water inside, because it's rained about 2 inches, and there is a little bit of wheat inside, and you can see there's some water pooled up on top of the tarp there. We got to get that off, but it's dry inside there, so that's good to see. God.